All right, you want to tell me something? You can tell me right now. If you want to tell me right now,
Sure,
what are you going to tell me?
sure. So Chris just said that he completed the course once for the marble run. If you beat our times,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm leaving the episode if that occurs. Okay, I'm just letting you know
Well,
that
the
right
good thing
now.
is it's the end of the episode if that
Yeah,
occurs.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm just telling, well, no, because there's other stuff that happens afterwards. There's like talking, little bullshit, but I am turning this off if that occurs. This was the worst one we've ever done.
And this was worse than the fish.
The fishing.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's not talk about it now. This is content for the show.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
if I'm just elite at it, Alex?
I mean, it's possible, but that is still, I'm going to turn this off. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it.
You're done with the challenges?
No, I'm just done with this episode.
Previously not on Unranked.
All right, well, gotta repeat my last success here.
Oof.
Oof.
No fucking way! No! Fucking
Oh my god!
Yo, record that. Play that again. We gotta get that on tape.
Oh, that was good.
Holy crap.
The previously that I did have on wasn't as good as that clip was, and I felt like because we played that clip, if you are an audio listener, you just heard was from Tom getting an absolutely ridiculous shot Walkabout Minigolf earlier today. And it deserved second round. We deserved an encore viewing of that.
Basically imagine the fucking hole. The golf course is almost made up of a triangle of these three holes, right? Like you start in one big pit kind of circular thing, then you move into the next circle, and then you go into the last. And I did it from the very first, and it went through all three circles, which are in like a triangular formation.
You get banked like 5 times.
Yeah, I banked 5 or 6 times, and it went in. It was fucking crazy.
And we should note that you had gotten a ridiculous hole-in-one on the hole immediately preceding.
Yeah.
So again,
this was not a hole-in-one. That was the only thing. Is it was
right? Neither of the things I'm talking about were holes-in-ones. However,
that's true. There are asterisks to both.
Yeah. The first hole you missed it, you whiffed. And then the second hit was just a hole-in-one stroke.
Because I was starting from
right. You're starting from and then the second one was like the angles you had to hit.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said, "Let's see if I can do it again," was just.
And it was, and the other thing is I wasn't even trying, because the reason I said that is because you guys both made it in 2 shots, and I'd fucked up. And I was on the other side, and we were playing a version of Walkabout where it's if you don't
match play.
Yeah, if you don't get it in whoever gets it in the least amount sets the number, and if you don't get it in that, you're out. So I had to get it on that second shot.
Yeah.
And I just whacked it, and it pinged, and
I mean, it was a beautiful shot. It was a beautiful shot.
It was great. It was
Minigolf.
Next hole. What did he say? Best game ever made.
I did.
He did.
It's one of the best games. I said one of the best.
No, you didn't say
really
one of. You said best game.
You did.
Ever.
You said the best game.
You didn't say one of. You said best game.
It will never ever get old to play.
No, it doesn't get old to play. We've been playing it for over a year now.
Gets old to play.
Yeah, I've been missing it this week. I've been too busy to be able to play much. So
yeah,
it's been next week too. It's gonna be the same. But then it'll be fine after next week. And then we got Lads weekend.
Yeah,
we're all just in our VR headsets in the same room.
I mean, I'm gonna bring mine so Tuna can try Taskmaster.
Oh, very good.
So I'm gonna bring it. Maybe I'll put it on. I've thought about downloading a movie or 2 onto it or something,
and
putting it on in the plane. Yeah,
fuck yeah,
wear it in the plane. Hell yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Thinking about it. Well, hey, welcome. It's the 443rd, correctly this week, episode of the Unranked podcast. Welcome to the show. This is Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna Marinello.
Hi.
And the great Tom Caswell.
Hoy, hoy.
Let's just jump right into today's Pokemon, shall we?
We shall.
It's the 443rd Pokemon. Alex, can you tell me who's that Pokemon?
Gible. Like the studio.
Oh.
It's close. It's not Gible, but it's close.
What are you talking about?
So I'm just gonna describe this Pokemon for everybody. It kind of looks like a street shark or a land shark.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a street shark. It's very much got a like shark-like fin on the head with a big wide open mouth. Like its torso is mostly mouth. It's like a little ball. It's got short stubby legs, short stubby arms, and where there might be ears on an animal, it has what almost look like jet engines, twin turbojet engines, one on each side. Primary colors being a blue, a like cyan blue, and a sort of orangey red. This is a dragon ground type. So pretty cool Pokemon opener, in my opinion, for a 3-stage dragon type Pokemon. Alex, can you tell us about this Pokemon's name?
If I didn't go looking into street sharks, yes.
Oh, what
Please
was last
hold.
week's Pokemon, and what number did we put it at?
I
Ooh,
mean,
Alex, do you remember the name?
You can look that up yourself. But it was Spirit Tom.
It was
Spiritomb.
what?
Spirit Tom.
I think it got pretty high up there.
Yeah, it was high.
It did. I'm looking at it. It's
We liked it. We liked it.
It's 18. 18, yeah, that's high.
Yep. That is high.
Okay, yeah. We're waiting on Tuna, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So Gible may be a combination of Gobble and Nibble.
Gible.
Or
you
some
know,
other,
if
another
you're going to pronounce it as Ghibli, you should have said
another pronunciation is
Nibbly.
Nibbly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another pronunciation could
Yeah.
be Nibbly, but it's
Yeah.
May, so it's a whole
fair.
You don't know.
thing
You don't
going
know.
on. And it's
We've gotten to the point where now we're
Jobble.
even questioning the pronunciation of known words.
Jobble, yeah, okay, so Ghibli maybe, or Ghibli, I'm not sure. Maybe a combination of Gobble and Nibbly, or Jobble and Nibla. I mean, it could be, it could go any way here. Jury's out, it says May.
Jury
It
is
doesn't say,
out.
It doesn't say. Gibla has traits of some shark species, noticeably the hammerhead. Is it? Oh, yeah. Its duller colors, red abdomen, and rounder shape could also hint at it being partially based on a red-bellied piranha.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I mean, see, the name for me, it's, I don't know.
Well, let's I'm gonna present an alternate name. Gible might also be a combination of gobble and nibble.
No.
The Japanese name,
No.
Fukamaru, maybe a combination of Fuka for shark and Maru for round, as well as a pun on Fukamaru.
No. You don't get to do this section.
But no, just in case anyone wanted to know what its name actually was. It's sorry, Ghibli. Ghibli is the name. Studio Ghibli. It evolves into Nausicaa.
I'm
really excited to talk about that. Yeah,
well,
see,
actually,
that's the problem.
I might
you
not be around. Yeah, you know what? And it's so funny because I have my fucking notes again. Okay, I got my fucking notes again. And you know what? Fuck it. If
wait, question. What if I beat you but I don't win?
If you beat me but you don't win,
yeah,
I'll stick around.
Okay, but that also means you have to do a presentation.
Yeah,
Oh man, Tom, that's actually what I'm hoping happens here. I'm hoping that. Well, actually, no. I'm hoping I win overall, but I do want Tom to beat you more importantly because I would like Alex to have to do a presentation again. I feel like we would all enjoy another presentation from Alex. Let's just get into some facts here and then we can put it on the sheet. Oh, by the way, the shiny on this, meh.
Stupid. Really, really poor.
It's just
it
slightly
might be the
more
worst.
saturated, slightly lighter.
It might be the worst shiny I've seen.
Oh, what, the blue?
It's
It's
just
already
another
blue.
blue. It's just another blue.
I don't. I kind of like it over the regular colors, though.
You know what? Actually, I take that back. Tom has a point here. I like the blue and the yellow over the blue.
Yeah, and the like red. Yeah, I agree that as like a shiny color combo, it's not exciting, but
It's not.
I think it. But I would
The
take
gold
it over
is.
a bad color combo, and there's a lot of bad color combo shinies.
You're right. You're right. It actually might be a better color than the original. It's
Yeah.
just that it's not a major departure. But
No, it's not.
The orange to the yellow, I didn't notice. I just kind of glanced at it and saw the slight blue shade change. But the orange to the yellow is nice. It's actually mostly red.
How does this Pokemon like actually digest food?
Well, it nests in caves untouched by sunlight. Sharp teeth may fall out when worn away or after an impact, but they regrow within a few days.
What does that have to do with digestion?
I don't know. I just thought I would read from the Pokedex.
So his whole
as
thing
we
is
do.
a mouth. Like the
It's
second
he's
he
80%
swallows, it
mouth,
comes out
yeah.
his ass.
He's 80% mouth for sure.
He actually doesn't even, he has less room than Yoshi does when he consumes something to make an egg really quick.
That's true.
So he
That's
yeah,
true.
he just goes chomp, done. Like that's it.
But we gotta remember what Pokemon.
Yeah, they don't eat.
Well, no, but two things. I mean, I've said this for a while. Pokemon don't digest and then have waste. Pokemon don't pee or poo. All of their special attacks, their Pokemon energy, is how they expend their waste. Because Pokemon have the ability to turn into like pure energy, right? The thing about Pokemon is they can shift between matter and energy. Like when they evolve, they start glowing and their matter rearranges itself, right? So since they also have the ability to then fire water and things out of its body, one would have to assume where is that matter coming from? So I always just imagined when Pikachu's hitting you with a Thunderbolt, that's his equivalent of taking a big dump. He's taking a big steamy dump on you and he's electrocuting with 10,000 volts. It's the only thing that makes sense.
He should Olivia.
Yeah.
Should Olivia star you.
All right.
So his deal with this one. I'm gonna start the bidding.
You start the bidding?
So this is one of the 3 starters in that Pokemon Unbound game, and this is the one I picked when I started that. So I have a little bit of affinity from it, like experiencing it recently. But look, here's the thing: it's a Dragon type Pokemon.
Yeah.
Ground. It has, as Tuna mentioned right after I was thinking it, it reminds me of Street Sharks, which I fucking loved as a kid.
So did Vin Diesel.
But right, the Vin Diesel toy commercial. And it's such a good, I mean, again, we'll get to the evolutions later, but it's such a those aside, it's such a good first level dragon form Pokemon. It's got the cuteness factor. But it doesn't look like, it looks like something that can put up a fight.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I'm
high.
Yeah. See, here's what's going to happen here. I'm going to completely disagree. I don't really like this Pokemon that much.
Wow.
I don't like the rockets on the side. I don't think it's that cute. I don't like it. However, what I can appreciate is the fact that it looks cool and is cool for other people enough that I will
sure
that I will be. And
you're suggesting this is a matter of preference. You understand what it is that people like about it. You just don't like those things.
I just don't like it.
Funny.
Yes,
he's gonna
I think that's a great point.
He's gonna base his opinion on other people's opinions.
Well,
no,
that's not what he's saying.
It's not illegitimate, but it's very fucking.
It is recognizing the worth of something.
Yeah.
For the masses, even though this guy doesn't like it.
You're saying it's not a objective issue. It's purely subjective. I think that's totally fair. Tom, you want to throw out a number?
If this is in the top 10, you're getting vetoed.
Well, I mean, you throw out a number after he does, and then
I don't need to throw out a number. I just want to make sure he's not thinking top 10 because
I know where I'm
it's,
thinking.
It's not in top 10.
I know exactly where I'm thinking.
I would probably put it above Glameow, new number 12.
It's a little high there, Thomas.
I was personally
I was gonna allow this into the top 20, but not that high in the top 20.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I say allow. I didn't really. I mean, I would have put this thing
now here's where it gets a little tricky, because I think that I would, if Glameow wasn't in here, I would probably put it under Luxio, above Pachirisu at 17. But I'm not the world's biggest Glameow fan, so like that one just I think would be lower for me. So like, so I would be willing to put it more toward 20, because I do think that if Glameow was out, it would be under Luxio at 17.
So I was gonna say the new number 22 is where I was gonna say. I look at Shinx, right? And I look at a non-starter 3-tier Pokemon that's like kind of cute, and you would definitely put it in your party. But I say, do I want this Pokemon or do I want Shinx? And I think I choose Shinx. That being said, I'm happy to go above Shinx.
Dragon is just so fucking
It is
dope.
It is. But as someone who also, like, you know, you want to have an electric type too, but you don't need to when you got ghost type and dragon type. All right, what about above Pachirisu, below Luxio?
Yeah, that's what I'm happy with that.
All right, do it.
It's fine.
Number 57 on the list. Only 50 Pokemon left in this generation, guys. That means, by the way, that in a year from now, 2 weeks earlier into the year, so basically like the first week of August next year, begins season 5, Saga 9.
Yeah. But you know what? As we all know, as you go further down the Pokedex, right?
Yeah.
Some of them get really freaking cool. So the top 20 better.
It's true. Yeah, the top 20 is gonna.
They better watch out. Yeah,
top 20 is definitely gonna change.
They better.
I agree.
I wouldn't get too comfy in the top 20 if I were them.
All right, that's it for the Pokemon. What's up, fuckos? Tom wasn't here last week.
Fuckos. I was not.
The hell were you doing?
What were you doing, Tom?
What was I doing?
Oh, we weren't going to record so that we could hopefully all record, because Alex couldn't Thursday night.
You couldn't do it Thursday night,
and then you couldn't when we did it.
I couldn't make it on Friday.
That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. But what have you been up to? Done some. What have I done? What's going on?
What have I done?
What have I done?
See a little Alien Romulus?
I mean, I did see Alien Romulus. I did love it, but I think we talked about that, or no?
No, we have not. We texted briefly about it.
Loved it. Cool.
It was a cool movie.
Loved that film.
So Therese never saw Covenant, and she only saw Prometheus once on like a plane.
I've only seen Prometheus once too.
I was surprised by the fact that like the lore in this movie definitely like referenced a lot of stuff from those movies. I thought that this was like a standalone, like this seemed like, honestly, all you would maybe wanted to know is see the first Alien and you're good. Like I didn't expect this movie to be what it was. A wild movie. Also, fucking gross. This is a wet, nasty, gory movie.
I thought it was just like a really clean story. I thought it had great and it did something that I love, which is you just take good characters, you put them in an interesting setting, and you just kind of let it ride. And like They totally have that. It had heart. It had references to, obviously aesthetically looks like a traditional Alien film, but it somehow made a lot of the lore of like the Prometheus and Covenant stuff, which is, to do with like the origins of, more of the science behind, I guess, the xenomorphs. It worked that in. And then just when you think the movie's over, the last 15 and it's been like a really solid sci-fi film. Don't worry about it. No, fuck off. Just when you think, come on now. Just when you think it's over, we can't act like this if we're gonna like have honest discussion about things.
You're talking about the end of the movie.
Just when you think you don't even know what I'm gonna say. You don't even fucking know
That's
what I'm
why,
gonna say.
Let's see what
that's why the meter is ticking up. It's not going all the way over yet.
So much of the movie is an homage. So much of the movie is an homage to what became before, and the movie ends kind of creating its own original thing and being its own original thing to set like, okay, cool. We've shown you that we have a lot of reverence for what came before, but now we're going to kind of start potentially something new. And this is really because Alien has never really had a good point, or at least in a long time, to kind of grow off of, right? Like you have
Covenant kind of was. You haven't seen Covenant, right?
I've seen Covenant. I've only seen it once. I saw it in theaters when it came out. But the problem is that Covenant and everything, it's very clear that the audiences wanted something that felt like an original Alien film, and what Prometheus and Covenant were building were not that. And so this found just like a really good way to include that, but bring it back to the original vibes, but also create like something new, because
Covenant's basically like, what if you met God and God hated you? That's what Alien Covenant is.
Yeah, I mean, I like those movies. I like both. For me, I haven't had a problem with Prometheus. Covenant I enjoyed Covenant when I watched it, I remember. But it's the Alien as a franchise was much stronger way back in the heyday, because you think about like, well, it was the first two movies, which are incredible, timeless classics, and then you have 3 and 4, which kind of like get progressively worse and worse, and then you've got these AVP movies that I've never seen. I know some people enjoy them, but like, so it's just been, and then Prometheus and Alien Covenant, while they weren't like AVP or anything, like they were genuinely, some people really like those movies or whatever. But at the very least they were decent. But yeah, they were just different. And so anyway, loved it. Loved it.
Yeah. My buddy Steven was over, and he's like obsessed with Alien. He was telling me about he basically reframed all of Covenant for me when he said that thing to me about how Covenant is basically about like, imagine if you met God, because that's essentially what the theme of that movie is. And then how some of the lines, when you reframe them that way, it's so good. It makes me like that movie more than I did, because I didn't see it that way when I saw it. It's also a movie I'd only seen once before, and now when I rewatched it, I actually liked it a lot more, except for the parts with James Franco. But that's just how that goes. That's just look, just some movies are ruined a little bit by people.
Wait, which movie?
Covenant.
James Franco's in Alien Covenant?
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I don't remember him being in Covenant, but I might be wrong.
Yeah. I was like, am I saying the wrong Alien? Yeah.
James Franco? What?
Yeah. It's only in the yes.
Oh, is it like only in the beginning or something? I just don't remember that at all. Okay, all right. Wow.
Yeah.
I must not remember this movie very well then.
Yeah. Well, there you go. What's been going on? What's happening? Tom has a presentation for us later today, which I'm very anticipating, very excited about. We have a challenge coming up on today's episode as well.
I put together, and we've talked about it probably on this podcast before, I put together the DeLorean Time Machine Lego set. Okay? It's actually, you can see it. It's right there. right there.
Yep.
Okay.
See
Have you
that?
thought about getting like the light kit or the engine kit where you can turn it into a remote controlled
Yeah. No.
Lego? No?
So yes and no. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I've thought about it. No, I'm not going to get it because to right now. So what happens is kid comes downstairs, okay, and is very fascinated with everything going on these shelves. Okay. For some reason, loves to push the books in, right? She doesn't like that they're out a little bit from the back of the shelf. So she pushes them all, which is so annoying to me. So I don't let her touch that. Then I have the three iterations of the DeLorean as models in their boxes, not opened, on the shelf. She wants to take that off. She wants to reach. Please. I've got the Dragon Balls that she constantly throws around. I got the Luffy hat, the straw hat that she constantly jumps on. I've got anyway, all this stuff. So the DeLorean. She wants to put Marty and I'm sorry, she calls him Margot. Margot and Doc.
Sure.
Okay. Margot and Doc sit on this nice, stupid little piece of Lego here that is just a 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 14, 2 by 14 piece with a with okay with a sign.
Important detail.
Very important. With a sign that says Back to the Future Time Machine, manufacturer Dr. E. Brown Enterprises, the year, the power, the fuel, and the activation speed, 88 miles per hour. Then it has two little figures. Doc, who I have here in my hand, right?
Yep.
He goes here. And then Margot would go there.
Yep.
But we don't have Margot.
But where is Margot?
Where in the house is Margot McFly? Well, Margot McFly, she took this off the shelf and said, "Can I have it?" And I was like, "Fine. Let's bring Doc and Marty upstairs. You can play with Doc and Marty." Big mistake. I go into the kitchen to talk to Brett. All of a sudden, I hear, "Uh-oh." And I'm like, "What? Oh, no." So I go and I go, What? She goes, "Where's Margot? Doc, where's Margot?" And I'm like, "Where is Margot, Avery?" And she's sitting in front of the radiator, and there's holes in the radiator, and she points to the hole. And I'm like,
it's like a radiator built into the wall. Like
it's a radiator built into the wall.
Yeah.
It's not one of those floor ones. It's an old radiator. It's from like
it looks like it's been painted over 100 times.
Yeah,
this radiator is so the house was built in 1949. So that's probably how old the radiator is.
Yeah.
So it's in the hole. Okay. And I said, "Oh, all right." So that I go to grab her to get her away. Because I'm thinking maybe she didn't push him in that far. She then takes her finger, and puts it and pushes, and you can hear Margot like got pushed in, and now Margot is in the radiator. I have yet to attempt a rescue, but Margot's in there, and we're probably going to turn on the heat in November, so I've got till November to try to rescue it.
You're gonna have to
melt it.
The photo you sent of this radiator, like it truly has the landlord special, where it's like every once a year a new renter comes in, they threw a new coat of white paint on this thing. You're gonna have to take like a straight razor, and you're gonna have to like cut around the seal of the radiator when you unscrew it so that you can get into this
what
thing.
I'm hoping is that the hole that she put him in, I can use like a pipe cleaner to push him through, to either push him through and down, and maybe he'll come
can you
out
see him?
No, but I'm actually not even 100% sure which hole he's in. But if I push the
which hole is Marty in?
Right, the Margot, the pipe cleaner. The pipe cleaner through, I can maybe push him hard enough that he'll fall out the bottom of the radiator, and I can take the plate off the bottom of the radiator, and I can get it that way. If not, he may melt when we turn the heat on.
Yep.
So that's pretty much my only option. Unless I get medical equipment. Unless I get medical equipment somehow, and it's like one of those things that they put in patients' ears. They got the camera. The little utensil.
I have one of those. Remember?
Yeah. So we'll try that. We'll try that rescue operation. That's going to be tried tomorrow. I just did not.
Good
have
news
the
is you
energy
can
to do
buy
it.
one on Etsy for probably like $8.
Yeah, no. I can go on Lego.com and tell them. I mean, they're really good about replacement stuff. So I can tell them what happened and they'll probably give me a new one. It's the fact that the plastic is going to be in the radiator as we heat this house that has me like, it's probably not the best.
Yeah, I would have
So
had to deal with it right away because I
What?
would forget and then we would have melted plastic come the winter.
Oh, see, now it's just been on my mind all day. And we like had dinner reservations, so we went out to an early dinner tonight. So it was
Oh,
like
where'd you go?
we went to a place called 110. It was okay.
Uh-huh.
It had a really good king crab tortelloni that was really good, and this like bacon raviolo thing that was delicious. But my like veal chop was, yeah. And the drinks for like $24 for a fucking glass of wine, which we both looked at each other like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Get the
No.
fuck out of here. Get the
Nope.
You
fuck
bring the kid
outta
to this
here.
or grandma? come
No,
over?
we dropped her off at the fucking in-laws. So that was part one. The other thing was that our next door neighbor knows that it's her birthday coming up, and she gave her kinetic sand, which is really cool.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really-
yeah.
it's a cool thing. It
Yeah.
is, but it gets fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to
It
have a
is like-
designated place for that.
So even when we put it in the kitchen, she's throwing it. It's just like chaos. It's
Yeah.
like, no wonder my mom never let me get this kind of shit. Like I never
Yeah.
was allowed like I was never allowed creepy
Same.
crawlers. I was
Same.
never allowed anything that creates
didn't get
kind of
gack.
mess. No, I had no gack.
Nope.
No, I wasn't allowed any of this because look at the mess. The hassle.
You know what I would do? You got
What's
go
GAC?
buy
GAC,
go buy on
GAK?
yeah, it was
It was,
like a
it was before
Nickelodeon
your
thing.
time, Tom. Before your
Nickelodeon
time.
GAC? Oh.
It was like a slime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Throw it
Nickelodeon
at
GAC.
shit.
You can still
Throw
get
it
it.
stuff. It stains everything.
It's just called
I never
Nickelodeon
had it.
Slime now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have it either. There was slime
What about
too.
Flarp?
Yeah, that
Noise
was
Buddy?
there. Yeah.
Flarp.
Was it
Wow.
Flarp?
Oh, this is
Floam.
awesome.
Floam.
Floam.
We had Floam.
I had Floam also because Floam you couldn't really get very messy.
No, and it would harden and it would be
Yeah.
done. The toy would be done.
Yeah, that
You
was
wouldn't
it.
be able to
Floam-
use
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah, Floam
that's
would be done.
Floam.
You
That's
you should
Floam.
you should
Okay.
go get one of those just really like dirt cheap $20 like kids pool, like just an outdoor like sitting pool.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then you put it in that
But you know,
outside.
the problem with the toddler is like you open the thing and then she's just like, open, and you're like, oh my god, okay, like fuck, like
Yeah.
goddamn. And then she's
No, I
like,
get it. Like when I pick up Milo's wet food, he's just meow, meow, meow. I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. And he's
No,
just
it
like
is.
meow. And I'm like,
A
I gotta wash your
toddler-
bowl. You gotta wait.
Yeah, toddler's basically having a fucking
Oh my
dog or
goodness
cat.
gracious.
And the other funny, and I sent you guys this picture, and you know,
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, man. Your kid is cooked. Your kid's is gonna be full brain rot.
Hang on.
yeah, no, but you saw this.
Oh,
Tom.
with the two. I meant the video.
No, the video is just her listening.
Yeah, sorry,
to,
no, with the two iPads, the two iPad
yeah.
picture. Yeah.
So yeah, I come upstairs and Britt's in her like her little side, like we have a guest room and then we have a tiny room. So she was in that room, and I walk into the bedroom, our bedroom, and there's my kid on my bed with both iPads open to different videos. One is Sesame Street, the other is some bullshit, and then something's playing on the television. And I go, what are you
Something's
doing?
playing.
And I go, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm watching the iPad. And I go, yeah, which iPad? Both iPads. I'm like, but you're not. And then of course I took the opportunity to snap a picture and then immediately take my iPad away.
Of
And I
course,
was
of
like,
course.
I go to Britt, I'm like, what the fuck? And she goes, I don't know. She climbed on the bed, she grabbed one of the iPads. She came upstairs with an iPad, and then she grabbed my iPad and she turned on the TV. So good luck.
I mean, look, she's just learning from Brit, right? Like Brit's watching the TV, she's got her
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Then there's the TV, the iPad, and then the iPad for the
But
iPad.
you want to know something? You want to know something really funny? What's really funny is that tonight we usually like we get her ready for bed, and then we say like, okay, who do you want to read books with? And like she'll pick one of us to read books to her.
Right, and she picks
Tonight-
you and Little Mermaid.
Yeah, exactly. Tonight though, she
Uh-oh.
she said books with Mama and Dada.
Oh,
So we're like, okay, interesting. And then we were like, okay, so who do you want to sit in the chair? Who do you want to sit on the floor? And she picked, and she was sitting on her lap, and we were like, okay, what do you want to read? And she goes, Pinocchio, which is Pinocchio. So we give her Pinocchio, but then she goes, Clifford. And she grabs Clifford and gives that to Britt.
No.
And then she grabs
Pinocchio
Alexander in the very horrible, whatever, no good, very bad day. And she gives that to me. And we just
she wants you to read at the same time.
We're all reading. And what's so funny is that the concept, right? Like, so she's acting like she's reading Pinocchio. Like she's just like blah blah, like babbling, because she's doesn't know what the fuck it says. But then she's looking at us, and then it clicked for me. I was like, oh, she doesn't get it that you read silently. Like, we read silently. Like, she just expected us all to read out loud. Like, I was like, Clifford, the big red dog. Like, so she looked at us, and we like she was like, Dad, read. I'm like, I'm reading. I'm just reading.
Are you sure that this wasn't one of those like TikTok situations where like she's just gotten so used to this kind of like internet stimulation now, where like you have the one thing that's going where the person's talking, and then over here is like fucking Minecraft, someone's jumping through a stage for some fucking reason.
Right, so in her mind, she's reading a book, but she also needs other stimulation going on. So she needs mom to read a book and me to read a book to get the full effect of a million things going on at once. Yeah, could be.
That's fucking funny.
So yeah, I mean, look, it's impossible. I don't know how anyone's, now she's okay. This was good because I like this. She wants to and started watching Bluey, and I was like, I love Bluey, so I'm all in. I'm like, definitely.
Yeah, Bluey's great.
I'll watch Bluey all day.
Yeah. I watched a little just because everyone kept talking about it, and I was like,
great.
All right, well, let's see what it is. And then when my nieces and nephews come, I make them turn that on instead of whatever nonsense they were always putting on.
So much better than
everything else. I don't need fucking Paw Patrol. Get that propaganda off my TV.
Out of here. Get that crap out of here. Anyway, enough about the kid. We played a little Walkabout Minigolf today. We already talked a little bit about it. All right. Just want to say, Lucas Martel and the people over at why did I just blank on the name? Coconut? Mighty Coconut. Mighty Coconut. Banger. Just banger after banger. And I'll give him money till the well runs dry.
I like the Fraggle Rock avatars that we got.
Dry.
Fraggle Rock avatars are great.
Yeah. If you don't have it's so frustrating. VR needs to be like $100.
Well, so interesting you say that. Tom, did you see what happened with those PSVR 2 sales?
No.
So they finally like cut them. They've been on like deep discount recently.
Oh, okay.
Been able to get them for like $350 instead of $550. And PSVR 2 sales have gone up 2,000%.
It does just need to be more affordable.
It needed to be $350. It needed to be under $400. It needed to be the price of a Quest.
Yeah.
And now people are buying it, along with the fact that you can use it on PC. It's like you can get that PC adapter, and you can get a PSVR 2. The fucking OLED PSVR 2 hardware for PC is like, that's an incredible deal.
The only thing is I've heard that the PC PSVR 2 experience isn't great.
Oh, so recently, if you're on the PSVR 2 Reddit, several game devs have gotten functions like HDR and the haptic triggers all working as well.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's just like a blanket. They say
it's not natively supported. You have to, the developers have to enable the stuff themselves.
So PlayStation must just be like, hey, we're not guaranteeing that any of these features work. If they make them work, great. But like, you're probably, unless the developer does something. Okay, cool. I thought it was more of like a hardware limitation with the adapter or something. But
that's what everyone else thought.
if it's just that the games need to be updated. So hopefully all the popular games will get updated. Because I tell you what, if they finally if Valve were to put out an I've been waiting to play Half-Life Alyx for a very, very long time. I've been jamming to play that. Have either of you played Half-Life 2?
Half-Life 2, yeah, I've played Half-Life 2.
No.
Half-Life 2 is I played it years after it came out, and I was like,
I played it when like they had Orange Box on the Xbox.
Well, that was I'm talking about college. Like I'm talking years later. I played it and I was like, wow, this feels still really good and like very clear why it's such an influential game. So I've been waiting to play Alex for a while because for a long time that was kind of the definitive, like, this is a fucking video game VR experience, right? And it was kind of made for the Index hardware, which is Valve's own VR hardware, which at the time that Alex was a thing was $1,000. I don't know if that's the case still, but you needed camera setups, all this stuff. You could use it on inferior hardware. You could use it on MetaQuest with the Oculus Quest at the time with the cable link and stuff, but it was designed for premium hardware. So I didn't want to experience it in like a subpar situation. And then when Sony announced PSVR 2, I was like, cool, they're definitely going to make a deal with Valve to bring Alex to PlayStation because this is premium hardware that, if they can get that experience on PlayStation 5, that is a killer app for VR. And it's never happened. And I've been waiting and waiting. And then they announced the fucking cable thing. And I'm like, great, I can use it for Alex. And then I read like, oh, but the fucking haptics don't work and the HDR doesn't work. And all. So maybe if they update it, I will finally fucking play this game.
Yeah. I've thought about it.
Oh.
I am very excited to get back to my garage soon. The weather has been cool here recently, but I know it's like it's a fake out because we're about to get the hottest part. The hottest part of the year here is August and September, especially the first half of September. And like Labor Day weekend, those first like couple of weeks, it's like notoriously brutal. But the weather right now says it's not even going to get hot. Like it hasn't been in the 90s for a week and a half now, and it was 90 or above or the very high 80s for like 4 weeks straight. It was brutal in the valley. So it's been really nice, but it's still too hot to get back in that garage. But I do miss playing in the garage because when I play upstairs with Alex, it really bothers my like. So thanks to all the weight that I've lost, I for the last 2 months have had almost zero back pain outside of like if I sleep wrong or if I like play too much Walkabout. And like when we played VR too much, like we played 2 days in a row and then we played the third day in a row. And Alex heard how frustrated I sound because I was just like, I can't fucking play. Like I wanted to play and I was just like, I was so uncomfortable the whole time I was trying to play. So like I really can't play it more than 2 days in a row anymore. But I think it's because it's not because of the weight of the headset. It's specifically because you're like bent looking down over the whole time.
Yeah.
When I play upstairs, I have a very small space to play in our living room without having to push our couch back. So I'm kind of standing still and using the control stick the whole time. Whereas when I'm in the garage, I'm like up moving around.
Yeah.
And it never bothered me when I was in the garage because I can just walk around and I can play in that like way bigger space. And I can't do that. So I'm very much looking forward to it cooling off in here because then I can play more mini golf than I'm currently able to play. So yeah. Yeah. Speaking of weight loss, so I've only lost like 2 pounds over the last like 3.5, 4 weeks because for the last few months, I've been slowly but slowly feeling weaker and weaker every week. And like I would stand up and I would get like really lightheaded a lot. And once or twice it felt like I was gonna like faint. And Therese and like John were like, you're not eating enough food probably. And so it's like, I don't think that's what it is, right? Because like my heart rate was going up. And so like I looked into it and there's this thing called POTS where like it can be caused by a number of different things. And they were like, no, you're not eating enough food. And I was like, okay. So I decided to like, I just increased my caloric take significantly. And then I started, and that didn't do anything. Like that didn't do shit. That didn't help me at all. And I was like, maybe I'm not getting enough protein, which I didn't think that was it either. Cause my scale has that, like it does the like pulse through you and it tells you like what your body fat percentage, what your muscle percentage and everything else is. And my muscle hasn't dropped at all.
That was even possible.
Oh yeah, these smart scales. It sends like an electromagnetic wave through you, and then it can measure and tell you how much of your weight is water weight, how much of it is muscle, how much of it is bone, how much of it is fat. So you can make sure also while you're losing weight that you're not also losing muscle. Like no matter what, when you're losing weight, you're gonna lose some muscle, but like you don't want to be losing too much either. So it's like, okay, maybe I'm not getting enough protein. So I started eating my breakfast now. I'm into it now, but I hated it before. But I got this like high protein Greek yogurt. It's got like 23 grams of protein, which is like half the protein you need in a day. But it was like really tart. But now I like it a lot because I've gotten so used to it. So I've been eating that every day. And I was like, maybe I'm anemic. Maybe I don't have enough iron. So I started taking nothing. So I go to the doctor.
Yeah, eat a bar of iron.
I go to the doctor and he goes, all right, well, let's see what happens. And like, I'd noticed like on my watch, and I told Tree, she was like, I don't know. Like, she was like, you probably just need to eat more. So I'm like, I would stand up. I would go from sitting to standing, and my heart rate would go from like the mid to high 70s, which is normal, like resting rate. And I would just stand. I don't need to move around or anything. And then it would jump to sometimes like 120, 130 almost. It would jump
That's
like 40
high.
to 50.
That's
sometimes.
high.
Which is like, that should be like you're walking, like you're doing, like it would just jump, just standing, which is why I was getting that like lightheadedness and feeling sometimes like I was going to like pass out. And then the solution, it turns out, I go to see the doctor, like he puts me on a blood pressure thing and he puts me on a heart rate thing. He goes, I know what's going on. And I'm like, okay. He goes, but we're going to do some tests to make sure. And he goes, all right, now stand up. And he goes, all right, now we're going to do it again and watch the meter. And basically what happened is my heart rate like shoots up, but my blood pressure doesn't move at all. Whereas what's supposed to happen is your blood pressure is supposed to increase to help make sure, like,
pump the blood. Yeah.
He was like, essentially what I have is like low gravity is the way he described it, which I know, but this is how they, this is how doctors always try to describe things. But basically I'm not getting enough electrolytes. I literally like, and he was like, and what can happen is like, if it's extreme enough where you're not getting enough electrolytes, it's like your body starts to like break down. And so I was prescribed a Gatorade. He was like, you need to start.
Right. That's right.
That's why I texted you.
That's right. Yes. I forgot about that text. I didn't even question. I just was like, I'm just not gonna.
Yep. And I didn't elaborate because I was like, I'll explain it on the podcast.
Yeah,
it's so weird. But then they did blood tests to make sure there's nothing else going on. And it was like thyroid, everything was great. It's just like, I have this problem where like just walking, everything, like my heart rate is going like through the roof.
That's crazy.
And it's because I don't have electrolytes. And he was like, well, you need to eat more salt and stuff. And I'm like, I'm like, sir, I eat so much salt. I'm a salt fiend. I'm not joking. Like I will sometimes I'll crack the salt. I'll just crack some salt in my hand, just eat salt.
No, you won't.
Oh, I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
You are fucking joking.
Do you want me to get
do it
Therese?
all the time as like a little snack? That's insane.
I do.
No way.
Listen.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing that you're ever gonna. When I was a kid, sometimes my parents couldn't find the salt shaker and they would have to go to my room because I would just like take it and I would just I'd take a couple shakes. I've always jokingly said I want to just buy a salt lick. I feel like I'd be into it, but the idea of like licking the bar of salt is really gross.
Oh my god!
I watched this great special the other day on this like Philippine salt that they hand make with like ocean water and stuff, and it's like $150, but I really want it. And like you shave the salt off of it when you want to eat it. It looks so good. But it turns out just eating salt, like some people, like your body doesn't digest it and absorb it enough, so you need it in liquid form. He was like, so you need to. He was like, it doesn't have to be Gatorade. So I got these like drops that I put in my drinks now. They're just saline, but they have all the minerals and stuff you need. Yeah. And like literally 3 days later now, like my heart rate is like
that's good.
Like literally, like my heart rate on my phone, like it was crazy. Like if you looked at like the the difference throughout the day of what it would be, and now it's like super stable, like all the time because I just need to drink Gatorade.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Which Alex won't have that problem. He loves Gatorade Frost.
No, yeah, he's fucking. He's getting all his electrolytes for sure.
No, I went to my pediatrician. I'm all good. Yeah.
Fucking Ross.
How old is your pediatrician?
It's so funny. He's in his 70s and he still, he remembers me, obviously.
Yeah.
And he works like 2 days a week. Works like 2 days a week.
You've been
just keeping him in business
40 years.
He's probably been trying to retire, and he goes home to his wife, and he's like, I can't let him down.
Oh my god,
where's he gonna go?
I love this. Yeah. Chris is like I'm a weird guy, right? But like I'm just like I fit right in this fucking tree. Chris is eating salt. Tuna's visiting his 100-year-old pediatrician. Oh God.
All good. Blood pressure's good. Heart's good. The only thing he said was vitamin D a little low. Vitamin D
Okay. All
little
right.
low. Little low on
Yeah,
the vitamin
little
D.
low on
I
the
got
D.
it. So here's a little OMD. So I have a fun. Chris's story actually reminded me of. It's not my story. It's Brooke's story. So because of the MS, Brooke's body naturally does not either produce or retain vitamin D very well.
Oh,
So
okay.
she was prescribed supplements years ago by her doctor.
Yeah.
So she's been taking vitamin D supplements forever. Recently, she's been having some problems with the MS. She went to the neurologist, but she has no new cysts. So it's not been like, she's digressing,
Sure.
Which is great. We thought it might be the heat because she doesn't do well in heat, and it's obviously been very hot. But it's been like in the, when she's been inside in air conditioning and stuff. So it's not, it's not like she is outside all the time. But it turns out it's because she has a very high vitamin D.
Oh, okay.
And the reason being is because not only is she taking these supplements, but she takes pills for her hair, and those are very high in vitamin D. And it turns out there's like 3 or 4 things she does or takes. Her sunscreen, which she puts on a lot because like she puts on sunscreen anytime she goes outside in any weather.
You're supposed to.
I know you're meant to, but I know like I'm not doing that.
Sure.
But she puts it in everything, and it's really thick, so she's always pasty white every time.
She's got to get the Korean stuff, man. We got it this summer now, and it's amazing.
She's got like the European, the Think Sport or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like it's like real, but it's thick, and it doesn't. You really need to work it into the skin.
Yeah.
But that also has vitamin D in it, so. She realized that she'd basically been overdosing on vitamin D, and apparently high vitamin D levels in people with MS can cause like pain and stuff like that. So she's had to quit all of these things, and like her doctor won't even let her take her hair pills, and she's like so fucking bummed about it. But yeah, so it's funny. Amazing stuff.
I take vitamin D in the winter. It's good for
Yeah.
good for seasonal depression. That's what they tell you. So
we played some video games. We've been gaming.
Listen, I've been playing one video game this week.
Right. Yeah.
Tom, I love this game.
Hit me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws.
I'm really happy that I knew playing it that I was like, Chris is going to love this. It is the ultimate Star Wars simulator. It is. It puts you in the world like no other game has, and you are totally living the smuggler fantasy of Star Wars, and for that reason, it's really, really awesome. And I was like, Chris is gonna love it. And you know what? I'm surprised because I have a lot of qualms with the game, but I was kind of my takeaway was your enjoyment of this game is going to totally depend on how much you care about Star Wars and like love Star Wars. I've been
that's definitely true to an extent.
It's the primary reason to enjoy
I've
the game.
seen a number of people who don't give a shit about Star Wars who really like this game and are confused by people. For instance, I saw Jeff Gerstmann's impressions because I very quickly was like, let me go just see what basic impressions are before I decide if I'm going to sign up for this Ubisoft subscription or whatever, so that I can play for it, so I can get it early. And when Jeff Gerstmann, who is like a big Star Wars, like he does not like Star Wars, and he was playing it, and he was like, this game's fucking fun. Like he was talking about things specifically that like are important to me, which are like the mobility. He was like, I'm doing bunny hops on a fucking speeder bike, like, and it feels good. Like he was like, what else do you need? Like this is awesome.
Yeah,
he hasn't seen a Star Wars since episode 2.
Wow. So, that's amazing.
So it's like that. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, it's weird because I know I agree with you, Tom, about that sentiment, but it weirdly feels like people are all over the place with this, even though the scores have generally landed in like good, not great, but good.
I think it's because like it's just very, in my opinion, it's gameplay. I think K feels good to control, like running around, dodging. I love sliding into
Yep.
punches. Like
I think even the shooting feels good.
Shooting, yeah. I just wish like the whole gun situation was different, because it's like, oh, you can pick up the E11 blaster, which is the stormtrooper rifle, but if you go climb that staircase, you drop it. If you have to open a door, you drop it. If you go into a thing, like, it's just meant, and I understand what they're going for. Like, they want you to, like, the only weapon you have is the blaster,
right?
And they do limit you with, like, once you run out of ammo in any of these guns, it's like, I can't use it anymore. And I don't mind that, but I just wish it was like, okay, she can strap it to her back or something, or like when she climbs the ladder, she can still hold on to it. So I understand what they're going for, but like that is one of the things. But I do think that the shooting feels good. The guns sound good. They all feel distinct as
the
well.
sounds are great, obviously. Yeah.
Like, I think the sound design is honestly like a highlight.
What have you gotten up to in this?
So here's the deal. So I had a progression lock after about 5 or 6 hours of play.
Okay.
There is a side mission that you can do, which I started to attempt, and I got loaded out of it. And you needed to enter the side mission. You were given something, and you had to like go attach it to something to stop a thing to be able to get inside this base. And when I died just by like falling, I had to do a platforming puzzle, and I fell. Instead of being respawned at the checkpoint, I was respawned on the overworld map. And now I know, and now I no longer had the device. First off, I couldn't remember where I entered, because the game, it didn't show me where the entrance was on the map. The marker showed me like, oh, you're trying to get into this base, and like it exists underground, and it technically exists outside the boundaries of the map. It's to upgrade the speeder, for context. You have to go into like a wind farm tunnel thing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't.
That's like the last mission I just did.
Yeah. So I got spawned outside. So for the longest time, I was like, where do I need to go? Because it just showed me like where the base was, and it was off map. So I didn't know where on the map to go. Then I found it. I was like, I think it's here. And I think I remember I needed to attach something, but like it wouldn't let me do anything. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, we had gotten the problem was we got an early copy from the devs through work. So like my only option was to hit them up, and I said, hey, I've got this problem. But I kept playing content because I was like, well, it's side content. Like if it requires a future patch or something like that, like I don't have to worry about it. And then I got to a point in the story where they say, no, you have to do that side mission. So, and the game only has 3 autosave slots. Like you don't have all of your saves. I couldn't go back to that point. And they basically were like, we don't know what the problem is. So I had to restart. So I restarted.
Sure. Yeah.
I sped through the opening. I was just punching my way. Like, I was just like, none of this matters.
So you ran into a bug. That sucks.
Yeah. And it's obviously the game has its fair share of, I've had little bugs. Like when I've tried to climb a ladder, I've like started melting into
it sounds like the PC version had bugs, and now the PlayStation version had one. Yeah, with the progression.
I'm on PS5. Fortunately, the new progression issue, which is apparently the new patch, can balk your save, and they're telling PS5 players that they need to restart the game from the top. I don't think I've had that issue. So needless to say, I sped through that opening again. I did like the 5-6 hours in like 2. I ignored all the side stuff. I was like, let me just get back, because I want to get to the
my
other
biggest
planet.
complaint is that I wish the intro to the game just went a little faster. I think onboarding, especially in open world games in general, even in Zelda, like I wish every adventure, open world, anything that's like, we're gonna have a whole world that's like a tutorial, it better be 30 minutes, and it's not. And they're always too long. I just want to get into the game, and that game, as much as I'm enjoying it, there was still a lot of like, I'm like, all right, is this going to be the end of it? Nope. Okay.
Yeah. And the game, the game gets, in my opinion, it gets better as you go and you unlock more things and you get some new planets and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was right on the precipice.
Like you did the Imperial mission,
leaving.
right?
Yes, yeah. Oh,
I mean,
I'm much further now. Like
that's
I'm much
the one that felt
now.
like that's where the game really started.
Interesting.
So Alex, there's a mission in this game. And this is where I felt like, okay, this is what this game is. And this is what this straight up felt like a scene out of Solo or Andor. Like this was a fucking mission in Andor that I played. It was like, we have to fly from, we're going to take our ship. We're going to leave the planet. We're going to go fucking dock with this Imperial space station.
We're gonna pretend to be have cargo. We have to stop off, steal cargo from this ship that's broken down in space because the planet has solar radiation that's causing it. Like it's almost got like a Bermuda Triangle outside of it. So like a lot of ships
there's like a ship graveyard.
Yeah. So you go steal the cargo there on your ship, fly to the Imperial base station. TIE fighters intercept you on the way, and they're like, "What's your command code?" And like you have to like fudge your way through it.
It's fucking sweet.
You are living the simulator, and then you go onto the base and you sneak around. You sneak out the cargo door.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
You've got your other guy there is like dealing with them, like pretending to be the cargo guy. They don't know you're there, and you got to get through the base. And sneaking into all that shit, Tom.
All of the directed missions, that there's one when you first get on Kijimi, there's a couple of really good Kijimi ones.
Yeah,
the shipwreck one, on Tashara, where you have to make your way through a shipwreck. Like if you remember the moment where you're kind of walking, you're doing one of these, right? You're walking through two rocks, and you step out, and like the exposure starts dimming as like you're getting used to light, and there's this massive ship in front of you. I actually went, holy shit! Like I said it out loud. It visually it's
so cinematic.
Yeah, all of those missions are really good. The open world stuff is hit and miss in my opinion. I really like the reputation system. So the idea is there are these 4 clans, right? 4 syndicates, and you basically, everything you do for the most part influences your position with them. So
have you seen Solo, Tuna?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Crimson Dawn from Solo, like the main, Paul Bettany's clan, they're one of them. There's the Pikes from Boba Fett is like the real time we see them in live action. You've got the Hutts, obviously Jabba and his crew. And then there's a new crew called the Ashiga who are actually made for the game. They were invented for this game.
Takes place after episode 4. So this takes place before?
It's between Empire and Return.
Oh, okay. So it takes place after Empire. Okay.
Yeah. They kind of described it as like,
so Jabba's still alive.
It's the height of the war between the Empire. Yeah, Jabba's still alive. Han is in Kryptonite. It's all that. Because they positioned it as like, because the war with the rebels and the Empire is at its peak, the Empire doesn't have the ability to kind of like police the cartels as much. So it's kind of this like all-time high piracy and smuggling, and it's all at a all-time high. So that's why they picked that time period. But you're in these positions with these 4 clans, and like everything you do, like you can go on a mission for one of the clans will get there, it will ask you like, hey, we want you to steal this stuff, and then you'll run into someone and they'll be like, hey, like the Crimson Dawn will pay you twice as much, and you have to decide where you're going to, and basically where your
I keep just saying fuck everyone else, and I'm like, I am all in on the Crimson Dawn. I'm hanging out with Kira, like Crimson Dawn is where I'm at. Fuck the Pikes, fuck Gorak, fuck the Hutts. I'm all in on Crimson Dawn.
It does change the game, because it's like, if you're in good with someone, you get rewards, I
don't need to sneak around their area.
You don't have to sneak around. Fast travel points are open to you that aren't open to you. Like you can fast travel into their systems. But on the flip side, if you're in bad with someone, if you're in one of their districts, they shoot you on sight. You can't fast travel in their areas. You can't, if you're in the area, you can't fast travel out. You have to like actually get out. and there's different tiers, right? So there's like 3 bad tiers. It's like poor, bad, and terrible. At terrible, they like fucking they send like bounty hunters to come after you. And then like the good and the excellent is like, yeah, they give you a bunch of rewards, they give you all the intel, you get the best missions, the highest paying stuff. I've been trying to balance them out as much as possible, but it's cool because the game really does, like, if you make a mistake, if you fuck up, if you like, if you know, you shoot the wrong person, you know, something like that, like your reputation will change.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I wish that it was pushed a little further, because the more you play the game, the more you realize that like it's really not affecting the story in any way, and like you can kind of cheese things. So like,
yeah, this is where I'm gonna have to disagree with you though, because I think games where that's too much of the focus, the story always is neutered. Yeah, it's always neutered. In fact, it's the same reason why I really like that the game is not truly open world. It's like kind of an open world, but
yeah,
like
you have these
it's a guided
areas.
open world, because the story is better because you have to follow the story, and the gameplay is better because I have to follow and I think if it was truly open world and they were like, go anywhere, do anything, like choose your own path, like the story would have to be worse. The game probably would have went through even like worse development, right? It would be in a worse position if they had to like program all this like additional changes into the game, all the additional dialogue. It would cost way more for them to do that. And at like what ends this like sort of like faux system of like choose your own adventure in Star Wars versus like they have a reputation system that adjusts the way you're going to play the game, but otherwise the story is the story.
Yeah, I don't necessarily hate the fact that, or not, you know, I don't, it's not a huge detractor, but it really it like doesn't play a part at all, basically. Like there's moments where like scenes are different, but it has very little
it's not a narrative driver. It's really just for
it's
like
just a gameplay system.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it can be like nicks, for example. Like if you're in an area, you know, sometimes it'll be like, oh, there's this great opportunity, it pays really well, but if I fuck up the mission, like if I get caught stealing this, I'm gonna lose reputation with a clan that I don't want to lose reputation with. And so in that case, you have to, you know, sneak around. But enemy AI is very dumb, so like the sneaking isn't very difficult. And then on top of that, you have this like furry little creature Nyx who you can send out to go steal stuff. And like the thing is like he can steal stuff right in front of, like, he can steal the thing off of the person you need to steal it from, and they can watch it get stolen and watch him run away with it.
Yeah, they could have made the stealing a little bit more mechanical so that you could fail it. Like they could have added more like button presses to it or whatever so that it was easier to fail. Sure.
Yeah, but like even like, you know, I can have Nyx run up, someone can see him run up, he can run up, grab the thing and run away with it, and they don't react. But if I went up physically and stole it right in front of them, they'd react. And like I just need that simple thing of like, if they see Nyx do something, they are going to be like, fuck, someone is here, like we need to, you know, we know. She talks about how rare. There's a point in which she explains what kind of animal he is. She says he's really rare, like that there aren't many of them left.
But a lot of people don't know that.
But even still, like there's this some person who's becoming notorious in the underworld. She always comes around. She always has this animal. Like they don't know, like, oh fuck, like Kay Vess is here, she's about to steal, you know. If people saw Chewbacca, they know it was Han Solo. You know, so there's a lot of little things like that. The game I think has a lot of underwhelming mechanics that make its best stuff suffer, but I do think like I think there's a lot to like about the game, especially if you're a Star Wars fan.
I'm gonna counterpoint to that entirely, which is the fact that Star Wars, all of the enemies are completely incompetent in the movies. And the thing that makes this feel like I'm playing Star Wars is that I'm sneaking around the ship and I'm up against buffoons.
Yeah.
I'm up against buffoons. Bad guys are filled with incompetent yes men, and that is who I am up against. And it feels just like the movies where Han Solo is fucking winging it. Han Solo is not this super competent
No,
person,
yeah.
but he's a lot more competent than the idiot yes men that are a part of the fucking fascist empire. And that's what it feels like you're up against in this game. And that's what I like about it is like, I'm sneaking around. I have 3 stormtroopers there who completely outgun me. And they're just talking about bullshit. And I get one of them to go get distracted by Nyx, and I stun him. And the other 2 are like, where'd he go? And they're like, I don't know where he went. And he's like, all right. And they just keep talking, like, because they're fucking idiots. They're stupid. Yeah. And it, like, I understand what you're saying, that like mechanically it doesn't give you a ton of a challenge, which I guess you could just up the difficulty then. Because I'm playing this, I always play games on just whatever the standard difficulty is, unless like, for instance, Halo, they tell you to put it on heroic if you want the actual like, it's so I'm playing it. I'm like, I've actually thought about upping to the next difficulty because I'm not thoroughly challenged by it. But honestly, it's made that a lot more fun because I'm kind of like able to fuck around with these guys a lot more than I would be able to. And I don't traditionally like a stealth game because the stealth game typically is like you're just failing over and over and you're restarting the mission from the start. And it's just like the sneaking around actually feels fun because not only are these guys idiots, but like it's like actually really easy and fun to control my character. And I have like a number of different options to play with. I'm sure like as it goes on, it might feel a little repetitive, but like I think because it narratively feels like Star Wars. Like it feels like I'm up against just the dumbest stormtroopers in the world, which just so happen to always be every stormtrooper. I'm kind of like, oh, well, this actually like weirdly works very well.
It does feel like, because like she can, when she does like her takedowns, right? Like one of the things is like you could throw a grenade and a stormtrooper won't die from that, but you can run up and punch them 3 times and they go down. It does feel like a moment from like A New Hope where they were stealing stormtrooper costumes and they just slam a stormtrooper's head in the, like George Lucas was like, all right, you're just gonna run up, you're just gonna push the stormtrooper into the wall and he's gonna collapse and he's unconscious and now you steal the thing. Like there's a lot of that, and I do think you're right that it feels very original trilogy, and obviously like tech wise they actually talked about how because GameSpot actually did a doc with them. So it's framed in 21:9. It's the original aspect ratio of the films. They built the lens of the the game camera to replicate
to match the same. Oh, that's cool.
So there's actually, if you look at the boundaries of the sides, there's actually like a little bit of a fisheye effect.
Yeah,
that is meant to simulate like what the film.
I'm playing it in 16:9 in the daytime. At nighttime, when I turn all the lights off, then I put it in the 21:9. But because I'm playing it on a TV, which isn't a widescreen monitor, I turn the 16:9 off. Like I put it on the 16:9, the standard, no black bars during the daytime because it just looks dumb otherwise. But when I play it at night and I have all the lights off, the 21:9 actually like works really well on the TV.
Right,
if you don't
really
notice the black bar,
right.
And it feels a lot better. There was a scene in the game where like I had to like go into like a stormtrooper command room and shit, and like I had to talk to people, and they were like, who is, like, it was like straight up like, and my character was like, yeah, you just gotta like they're just like fucking bullshit. And I'm like, this is some Han Solo ass shit right now.
You have that you get one of the earliest abilities you unlock is fast talk,
Yeah.
which is if you get caught, you can, if you're quick enough to press a button, Kay can basically like spin her wheels for 5 seconds to be like, oh, I didn't know. And like you can either use Nyx to like attack them, or you can try and close the distance and punch them. So yeah, there is this stuff that feels very kind of spontaneous and fun and like goofy and stupid in way in which like does actually feel like Star Wars, and maybe that does play into the simulation. But if you're looking for a very technical, like, if you're looking for something on the, even on the level of like, an Assassin's Creed doesn't even have like smart AI, but, or not like super smart. Like I think the pinnacle of stealth is like MGS5. Like MGS5 enemy AI was on point. Like if you want to play a game that's meant to be a stealth game, like that has that challenge and has that level of enemy AI, you're gonna want to play that. If you're looking for that in this game, I don't think that's quite there.
But I'm also like I'm a sneak fuck. I'm not a super soldier. I'm like a goofy sneak fuck who improvises, right? So like, and that's why like I do have weapons and I can shoot people, and like when I need to, I've been able to pull off some like really awesome shootout scenes. Have been very cool. However, like I am still generally speaking outgunned most of the time.
Oh
So
yeah,
like you are playing
100%.
in this sort of like in between because and so I think I've heard like a lot of wish casting where there's like a lot of people being like, oh, the game should have been this or should like where it sounds like a lot of people either want this to be a super stealth mechanic game, or it's a lot of people basically just want this to be Jedi Survivor and you want to be a Jedi. And I'm like,
I don't want that.
There was a part of me
yeah,
that when this was announced, I mean, I love the Jedi, you know, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a little bit of a bummer to play a Star Wars game and not use a lightsaber, but so far, I don't miss it.
no,
I don't miss it.
no. It totally for what it's going for the kind of, like I said, you are living the Star Wars smuggler fantasy in a way and in a way that in which has not been possible, and that is very cool. My other one gripe is that I don't think the ship is fun to fly. All of the space stuff is very underwhelming. Thankfully, it's very ignorable for the most part. But I was hoping that would have a lot more. I would enjoy that more because
it's like a bit of a freighter. It's not. It's you're not in like a X-wing or something.
Yeah, it's
I do like that I can haul stuff in and stuff. I think it's fun. Yeah, but it's short. I wouldn't want long sequences in it necessarily.
I'm not necessarily concerned with the sequences, just like, oh, I never want to go to the space. Every time I get a mission, it's like, you got to go to the space station, or you got to find this thing in space. I'm always like, it's not as fun as the stuff on the ground. And so like, I'm like, unless I have to do it, like I'm not doing it.
Unless you're going into like a base or something in space, and then that's awesome.
Yeah, and unless it's like going to a space station or something. So Tuna, any interest?
Probably not enough for me to jump in.
Yeah,
especially with AC Shadows around the corner.
Well, he's also got Astrobot next week, and then Plucky Squire the week after, and Zelda the week after that.
Zelda, you know.
There's a video game coming out every week for the next.
I mean,
3
you
weeks.
guys are gonna like. I mean, I tried playing Jedi.
Oh, you played Fallen Order, right?
The
first one of the two.
I think so.
Yeah, Fallen Order I think was fine. I think Fallen Order was fine. It had a lot of technical problems and it had a really slow start. Jedi Survivor, I thought Fallen Order was like a 7 or an 8 maybe, but I thought Survivor was fucking.
I like them a lot. I like both of them a lot. I think I like Survivor more. I think the story in Survivor is better. I like them both a lot.
Yep. All right. So
yeah.
You guys. I do want to say one last thing.
Go ahead.
One of the best things, and I'm not that far into the game because I've spent a lot of time just doing side quests. Like Alex, walking around in the like criminal underworld.
It's very cool.
It's so fucking awesome. Where I'm like, I go lean in at the bar, right? And listen, I go lean in at the bar.
Yeah.
And these two guys are talking about something. And I find out some shit, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's interesting. I go find something else out, right? And then so I go and I follow these guys around, and then I find like a data pad, and I get this data pad, and I read into. I find out. So there are games you can play there. Sabacc, which is like a poker game. And then there's also like horse betting, like alien horse betting. And I find out that those races are fixed. And I know now which horse is going to win the next race. So I go and I put the biggest bet that I can on it. I just like walk up to the table and I am swimming in money. I've spent so much time swindling people in Sabacc. I didn't want to cheat originally, but now I've been using my little alien buddy.
Yeah, Nix.
You have a little pet, Nix. And like he sneaks up like behind people and he looks over their shoulder, and you have to do it fast because like it tells you what their cards are. But if you take too long and stuff, then they notice that he's doing it, and then you can get a bad rep and you get banned from the table. But Tom, I am fucking rich in that game right now. I got deep pockets in I probably have way too much money for where I am at this point in the game, but I've probably spent like 4 hours playing Sabacc.
Well, thankfully, there's a lot of incentive to buy things. So like a lot of the vendors have like different armor or gun parts or things like that to
Yeah,
actually like upgrade
I'm
and
ready to
change
upgrade
stuff.
shit.
So there's always an incentive to spend money as well, and that's
Yeah.
something that doesn't feel like a lot of waste on that front,
Yeah.
which I'm very thankful about. I definitely glad it didn't go in that direction. Like I'm glad that it's like no, like I've had a healthy balance of credits. Like I've made a lot of money, but I've also spent a lot of money because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I just need this one last part to upgrade the speeder to give it to let it do the bunny hop, right? Like you need to find a specific part so you can do jumps with the speeder. So yeah, it gives it a lot of incentives, and there isn't like a bloat of like you are grabbing like chromium, and you're finding resources and stuff, but it's not like a million different things.
No.
It's like a dozen and a half.
No, a lot of the stuff you
things.
pick up, the game's like, you can just sell this. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's not like Destiny where I'm like, and what do I use this material
Yeah,
for? And how many
synthwave
of
or
these
whatever
do
it's
I-
called. Synth
Yeah.
spindle.
No, there's
How
not
long
that.
are we talking for, Tuna?
You guys have been talking for a half hour.
All right. Well, sorry.
On Star Wars. No, it's good. It's good. I'm just saying something's got to give. So we're not here till past 11.
I'll be able to hear you. I just won't be in the room. I'm gonna go.
My point is that this cannot be a podcast of a 2-hour episode. People we are not like Dan, what's his name, Hardcore History.
Our episodes are 2 hours.
Yeah, they used to be usually about 2 hours. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is because of your Star Wars conversation, which is fine. I'm very happy for you guys to nerd out on Star Wars and get all about it. My point is that you've taken up 30 minutes now. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna fit my 2 games in super quick. Fortnite, been playing it a lot recently with the new Marvel season.
This isn't news.
Been unlocking skins. It's been good. The War Machine stuff is really fun. The other thing is I've been playing quite a bit of Concord as well. Now that it's in full release, and it's a real fucking shame that this game is going to die because it's a real fucking fun game, and I wish you guys would be able to jump into it.
Why is it going to die?
Because
now I have to
they're charging $40 for it. People are just like, it's another loot. It's not a looter shooter. It's a hero shooter. It's another, just
Overwatch.
kind of, yeah. It's another Overwatch like title. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really solid shooter. I think you guys would actually both like dig it quite a bit, but it's hard to convince you to spend $40 on it when like a couple of thousand people seem to be playing it at this point. So we will keep an eye on that. All right, in the news, the big news of the week seems like the PS5 Pro is going to be announced very soon. It's been rumored for a very long time that a PlayStation 5 Pro would be coming this year. And Gible Kun, or Bill Kun,
Gible Kun?
Gible Kun, who's a very accurate leaker. I would say actually one of the most accurate. When they leak stuff, it usually turns out to be true. They're French. They run a website called Deal Labs, and they basically said, we've seen packaging for the PS5 Pro. They did a kind of 3D render of it. It kind of looks like the PS5 Slim, but it has like more lines. Instead of just having like one line going through the middle, it has like 3 lines. It's a little bit thicker than the PS5 Slim as well, it seems. The rumor, they are saying that this is going to be announced in like the next month or so, which a lot of people have been hearing rumors. Apparently at Gamescom, it was quote unquote an open secret that the PS5 Pro was coming among developers. Some changes that it seems is that there are, instead of having a USB-A and USB-C port on the front, it'll be 2 USB-C ports on the front. And it seems that potentially they will only sell a digital version. They won't sell a disc version, but it might be able to, you might be able to buy that external disc drive if you want a disc drive that works for the PS5 Slim. You might still, like, all of that stuff apparently should work. So if you have alternate faceplates or you want the disc drive, you will be able to essentially buy an additional thing and attach it. And yeah, so it might be coming next month. And the big thing with it is that it seems that it's not going to have a huge jump in like actual like physical hardware power, but PlayStation has built some kind of upscaling technology, like their own version of DLSS, which is going to essentially make games look and run better through that kind of tech versus using actual hardware to boost the graphics of these games. And that's going to be the big thing. That's what makes it pro. So that is the PS5 Pro news, which is very cool. Would you guys upgrade if they announced a PS5 Pro this fall?
No.
I mean, I'll get it for sure, just when GTA comes out.
Yeah, that seems
But
good.
I will say, like, I did go and read the rumors and stuff because I was like trying to decide about which console to get Star Wars on, and I was like, I'll probably be done with Star Wars by the time I can get this thing. So, no.
Remedy is partnering with Annapurna. Essentially, Annapurna is going to help fund the development of Control 2, but Remedy still owns the IP and still is self-publishing Control 2. But Annapurna is investing in it, and then Annapurna is also going to help Remedy bring some of their, Control, Alan Wake into movies and TV. So this seems really great. I mean, Remedy obviously knows a lot about video games, but knows something about live production because they have so many live action elements in their games, and vice versa. Annapurna, very familiar with film and TV, but has their own gaming label that publishes a lot of, indie and double A games, mostly indie. But both of these companies seem like a very good fit because they do have that knowledge crossing over into the other's expertise. So this is very exciting. And apparently Control 2 is like they're steaming through development. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that game next year with a release in 2026, maybe, which would be crazy because that would be 7 years after the first
Alex
one.
still has two of the best video games to ever play on his plate.
Yeah, he does. And you need to play them before Control 2. Like, is what I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Because
So I need to play Control and Alan Wake 2, is what you're telling me?
Yeah. I replayed Control this spring because they have it on Game Pass now. Or they did, at least at the time. God. Fuck.
Phenomenal video game.
Wow.
Yep. Must plays both.
Yeah.
So that's that. Any thoughts on? I know you're a big, obviously you're right with me, Chris. The Remedy connected universe, one of the most exciting things
Alan
happening
Wake
in
will
gaming.
make an incredible TV show. An incredible TV show will be made from that game. Yeah. Unless they fuck it up, but it should be like
No, they won't.
It should be better than The Last of Us TV show, and that was great. So
yeah, I mean, it has that potential. There was a Nintendo Direct, but it was a partner direct. They had an indie showcase as well. They showed off a ton of indie games. There was nothing big to come really out of that. And then the last bit of news, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer. Did you guys watch this?
Oh yeah,
it looked fucking sick,
dude. I cannot. You need to make it here for it, Chris, or we need to figure something out for that. I know that might
I don't know.
be tough.
I saw the first two with Matt and Emily and I.
Oh, okay,
so I'll probably do that again for the third one.
All right,
especially because
you're not invited to barbecue.
When Shadow popped up at the end.
Oh yes,
what was it called?
I remember.
Called like Project Amy or whatever. Like she screamed in the theater. So like I gotta go see this. I mean, you've seen. Remember when Mass Effect popped up during the Game Awards and she lost her mind? Seeing movies with Emily is a good time. So I think I'm gonna have to do that.
No, fair enough. Well, you're not coming to Brazilian barbecue, but yeah, that trailer looked really fun.
I wouldn't really be able to eat anything. So
I wonder if. A lot of people have been like, great, it looks like it's actually focused on Sonic, and they're not gonna have half the movie be them on vacation.
I'm honestly, if I had any disappointment, it was like, where's Amy and Rouge the Bat?
Maybe they're getting teased for Sonic 4. You know they're gonna make a fucking Sonic 4.
Where are my Chaos Emeralds and Supersonic?
You know what's great about this trilogy is they're doing what I wish more movie trilogies would do. Just reliably put out a new film, continue the story every 2 years. We've got a Sonic movie every 2 years, and it's been great.
Yeah. All right.
And it's been great.
I think we have a presentation.
All right.
Whoa. We're doing the presentation first? Do we always do the presentation?
Oh my God.
First?
It's every time we do the presentation on the same week as the challenge, Alex goes, whoa, presentation first.
Well, here's the thing, too. If you're gonna
all right, you know what? If that's
I'm gonna
true,
go back through the episodes.
I was just gonna say, if that's true, put that on the previously on.
Yeah.
If that's true.
This is definitely the third time it's come up.
Third? Okay, I want this
Well,
whole thing documented. I'm writing this down.
I'm gonna have to go find it.
I'm writing this. Noel, you put your money. I'm writing this down.
I'm gonna guarantee that it's happened at least one other time. But
no. You said 3.
All right,
you literally just said 3.
Fine. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll find it
3 times.
I'll find it.
At least. Tuna said, "Whoa."
So what Tuna said, whoa.
Presentation. Okay. Before challenge. All right. I wrote it down. So
yeah.
Well, all I'm going to say is that you said that you would leave if Chris beat our times.
No,
so
beat
like
our times,
yeah. So we need to do this now just in case.
No. I'd actually rather do, because if I do need to leave, I'm like done.
Yeah, but you got to stay for Nausicaa anyway. So
no, I'm not. I'll tell you. No, I don't even care. I'll burn these notes. I'm not doing it if you've beaten both of our times. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it.
I don't know.
I beat that stage one time. It might happen.
It really fucking could have, and I'm telling you right now, if it did, I'm out of here. Okay.
All right.
I'll tell you right now, if Tom doesn't win this week, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Well,
all right. I
don't even know what your presentation's on.
The history of Minigolf / putt.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, Chris gave me a task. It was very specific. It was discuss the history of Minigolf / putt. He had specific things that he wanted me to hit.
Specific guidelines, specific beats.
But I wanted to work, I wanted to work within I want to get creative. I didn't want it to be, following a strict, method or pattern or whatever. So we're gonna do what Chris asked, but here's the kicker. It's a game. This is mini golf trivia. Okay.
Okay. I'm into this.
Okay. All right.
Here's what's happening. So you're gonna need your phones.
I got it.
Okay. I've got 9 questions. Okay.
9
questions. Each one is multiple choice. Okay. You're just going to, in the traditional way, prep a text message, do them in the right order. A, B, C, or D. We're going to go through all 9 questions. We'll go through all 9 answers, and then there's going to be a bonus at the end that's going to allow you to rack up some points quickly. And, if you're really behind or what have you, or, you're ahead and you get really out in front, there's a thing after we answer those 9, a little thing for like the 10th and final thing. Make sense?
All right. We're going to send them one at a time then, right? So then they'll just be in order.
Yeah, you can send them one at a time or as one lump text. We're not going to go over the answers until the end. Okay. All right. The earliest documented mention of some form of miniature golf was in the year 1872, 1896, 1912, or 1927.
Am I not getting the answers to these until later?
Yeah. We're getting them all at the end.
Well, yeah, we're going to do them all.
And I'm just going to number these 1 through whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just sending them in order.
Yeah, Chris is sending them in order. You can do it in a batch or whatever you want to do. Are you both good, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The first state to host a standardized mini golf course was Florida, New Jersey, North Carolina, or Tennessee.
Okay.
We good, tunes? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, all good, all good.
The original formula for modern artificial putt-putt turf was invented in 1922.
You got to start sending the answers one at a time because now you just gave away.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. All of the dates
Oh, okay.
prior, I think, were
I see what you're saying.
They're all
prior
prior to this.
1922. Turf was invented in 1922. It was comprised of oil, cottonseed, hulls, I don't know what the fuck that is, dye, and sand, plastic, rubber, or clay.
Okay.
All right. Nearly all mini golf courses in America were shut down during the Great Depression. The most famous course that survived from this time can be found in New Jersey, New York, New Mexico, Ohio.
I mean, these are just guesses, man.
You good, Tunes?
Yeah.
The first golf course to use set pieces like windmills and castles
Hell
were
yeah.
created in the year
Very
1938, 1945, 1953, or 1959. So one of the interesting facts
Okay.
is that like for a long time mini golf courses, it seems from what I understood, like it wasn't necessarily called mini golf, but like it eventually became that. But it wasn't for a long time until they started introducing set pieces, and that's one of the things that separates what putt-putt is and what mini golf is.
I see.
Putt-putt doesn't have is it has some things, like it has like hills and banks and stuff like that, but yeah, it doesn't have interactive elements like this. Okay, Tunes, you good?
Yeah.
The governing body for mini golf in Vietnam is the
What?
Vietnam Mini Golf Association, Federation, Foundation, or Alliance.
How many questions is this?
There's 9. Then we'll go through some answers, and then there's a last little thing to get some points.
All right.
All right, next one. The key difference between putt-putt and mini golf is that putt-putt has players alternate turns. Putt-putt par is set to 2. Putt-putt isn't used for competition, or there are no differences between putt-putt and mini golf.
Well, I mean, you also told us that
I
putt-putt
did,
didn't have obstacles, and that was the key difference, which is interesting. But
there is it's not the key difference, but it is a difference between the two.
So we could eliminate.
You can eliminate the answer 4 here. You got a little freebie there. I forgot that on this slide, because I was thinking about this slide when I mentioned that, but I was like, I don't bring that up on that slide, and then I forgot that I made this the 4th option.
That's so funny.
One of the more modern advancements in mini golf has been indoor courses with bars. Swingers Golf, New York City, is located at 35 West 29th Street, 32nd Street, 40th Street, 46th Street.
46th Street?
46th Street.
Alex knows this one.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
All right, and last question. The next Walkabout course is about Elvis. Elvis was born in the state of Alabama,
Ooh.
Mississippi,
Pretty sure I do know this.
Kansas, Louisiana. All right. All right.
I know this because of the National Treasure TV show on Disney Plus.
No way.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, because they have to go to the Elvis Museum.
Incredible.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, spoilers. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for, you know. All right, let me open notes so I can take score here. Okay. So we got Tuna, we have Chris. All right. So, Tuna, send me all of your scores, please. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. You wrote them out individually. Okay. All right. Let's get some answers. All right. So for the first question was the earliest documented mention of some form of miniature golf was in the year 1872, 1896, 1912, or 1927. 1912, the year the Titanic sunk, was also
Hell
the
yeah.
earliest documented mention of some form of miniature golf. We have Jack and Rose here doing the iconic Titanic moment right before tragedy strikes in the year 1912, which also was the earliest documented mention of some form of miniature golf. Next question was the first state to host a standardized mini golf course was. Oh, sorry. We got to do some answers here. So Tuna got it wrong. Tuna put 1896. And Chris also got it wrong. Also put 1896. So no points for either of you. Next question was the first state to host a standardized mini golf course was A, Florida, B, New Jersey, C, North Carolina, or D, Tennessee. Let's do it this way. Chris, what did you put?
B.
Which is New Jersey, and Tuna?
I also put the dirty jerk.
Oh. So this is Elaine Marshall. Since the year 1997, she has been the Secretary of State of North Carolina. The answer was North Carolina.
That was my second pick.
A little worse for wear.
She has
Jesus.
held office in the same office for nearly 40 years.
Ridiculous. Get
30
her out.
years, sorry, 30 years.
Lock her up.
Get her out, lock her up. All right, the original formula for modern artificial putt-putt turf was invented in 1922. It was comprised of oil, cottonseed, hulls, dye, and A, sand, B, plastic, C, rubber, or D, clay. Chris, you put D for this, which was clay. And Tuna put
rubber.
All right. This is Hayden Christensen. He played Anakin Skywalker, the most famous hater of sand. Okay, next question. Nearly all mini golf courses in America were shut down during the Great Depression. The most famous course that survived from that time period can be found in New Jersey, New York, New Mexico, or Ohio. Chris, what did you put?
Well, I went with New Jersey because I guessed that the first one was in New Jersey, so I thought that would make it famous.
Okay, so we got New Jersey, and then Tuna, what did you put?
Ohio.
Okay. This is an AI generated image of prompt of New York City. It was actually in Rochester, New York. So
Rochester.
New York City is I guess technically not correct, but yeah, it's in the state of New York. All right. The first golf course to feature set pieces like windmills and castles was created in the year A, 1938, B, 1945, C, 1953, or D, 1959. Tuna, what did you put?
1953.
Oh, Oh no, that's I just opened your text again. Chris, you put C, which is also 1953. So this is Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
In the
This is
year
also AI.
No, this is a real image. I don't think it's from the year that is the answer, but this is an image of Czechoslovakia and Adolf Hitler in the year 1938 had what the internet describes as like a low priority war or something. Basically did what Russia is doing to Ukraine right now.
They
Basically
annexed it.
Basically claimed that a big portion of Czechoslovakia had Germans living in it, and therefore it belonged to Germany. France and England basically said to Czechoslovakia, yep, you've got to annex this part of Czechoslovakia and give it to Germany. They came out with the Munich Accords, I believe is what they were called. But it was later dubbed the Munich Betrayal because basically Hitler used that as leverage to snowball into the events that eventually led to World War II that happened the next year. So the answer was 1938, which was A. So neither of you
I feel like we're learning more about the history
correct.
of Czechoslovakia than Minigolf, Alex.
Neither of you got it right, unfortunately. All right, the governing body for minigolf in Vietnam is the Vietnam Minigolf A Association, B Federation, C Foundation, D Alliance. Chris, what did you put?
A Association.
Oh,
Tuna, what did you?
I went with Alliance.
Oh, the A's. The A's have it.
The VMAs.
But do they have it? So this is Jared Harris featured in
Foundation.
the hit film. Well, this is him in the film Morbius.
Yeah.
But he did star in the TV show, the TV adaptation of Foundation, the Vietnam Minigolf Foundation. So again, we're tied at nothing. All right, the key difference between
I wanted to put Foundation so bad, but I thought it was just like not.
Lots of national kind of mini golf. Like every country seems to have some form of mini golf governing body.
They should put it in the Olympics.
Yeah, no presence in the Olympics, but it was featured in the 1989 World Games.
They should put it in the Olympics.
I don't know what the World Games is, but that was a thing. Mini golf was a part of it. All right. The key difference between putt-putt and mini golf is that putt-putt A has players alternate turns, B par is set to 2, C putt-putt isn't used for competition, or D there is no difference. Obviously, you guys know there was one scratch. You guys did need some help, it seems, on this trivia. So Chris, what did you put?
Alternate turns.
And Tuna, what did you put?
I just said par 2.
So I forgot to build a slide for this one. So the answer is B. It's par 2. So well done. Tuna's got points on the board. Yeah, so that is a key difference is every putt-putt hole is par 2. Every single one. They're also designed so that every single one can be done with a hole-in-one. It uses furthest away, putt-putt uses furthest away, and it is primarily used for competition.
Wait a second. If it uses furthest away, then the first answer is also correct because players only alternate turn.
No. Putt-putt has players alternate turns. Is what the question would be.
Okay.
But that's not how it does it. It does it on who's furthest away. Like, yes, you alternate turns in the beginning, but like if you hit it, it got further than and then Tuna went and it didn't get as far.
Yeah.
Tuna
what was the
again.
question? Go back to the question.
The key difference between putt-putt and mini golf is that putt-putt has players alternate turns, which is not true.
Okay.
Putt-putt par is set to 2 on every hole, which is true.
Okay.
Putt-putt isn't used for competition, which is not true. Putt-putt is the primary form. If there are the ESPN like putt-putt championships happen at a putt-putt course, and some places use mini golf, but apparently for the most part, because you don't have windmills,
have you
stuff.
seen like on Instagram, there's like, I've seen two things. One is a like finger golf game where you put basically the head of a golf club on your finger, and they're like hitting balls that are, like wiffle balls on a course. And then also the other one is like where they flick a ball with like little tiny players on a little tiny soccer court. Have you seen this?
Yeah. That's called we have that in England. It's called Subbuteo.
Did you just make that up?
No, I'm serious. It's called Subbuteo.
Okay. All right. Last question. Studio. Studio.
Yeah, Subbuteo. Subbuteo. Yeah. I used to have it as a kid. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Last question.
No, 2 more questions.
2?
2? Yeah, 2. So Tuna's up 1 right now.
Yeah.
Right. One of the modern advancements in mini golf has been indoor courses with bars.
Oh,
Swingers Golf, New York City, is located at 3035 West A 29th Street, B 32nd Street, C 40th Street, or D 46th. Tuna, what did you put?
29th.
Chris, what did you put?
D.
46th. So this is a picture of another Tom Caswell. This is one of the Tom Caswells that appears if you Google my name. He's in it. He plays music.
He plays music.
Okay. He plays music. He's got a guitar here. This is his his EP. You can see his name there. This is me, right? Tom Caswell. I'm 32 years old. So it's 35th West 35 West 32nd Street is the answer there. So no
this
one got
guy
any
actually
points there.
does kind of look like you
a little bit. Got long hair. He's white, overweight. Yeah. He's got no beard.
No, but if you had no beard,
if I wore glasses, no beard.
If you had told me this was you in your early 20s, I might believe it.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
might believe
I don't see it.
I see it, baby. I see it. You guys don't see it. You guys are blind. You guys are blind to reality.
Blind. I mean, he is a white dude with longer hair, but
no, he's got the face.
He's got the face.
I
physically look nothing like that.
You look
okay.
Go to watch our show live on wherever we post it and look at this picture.
YouTube. Great. Your daughter's favorite thing on the planet. She loves it so much she watches it twice.
Are we on YouTube Kids?
I thought that's what she's watching on the iPad.
Yeah, but this isn't on YouTube Kids.
Oh, I guess not.
No.
I didn't realize they were different entities.
Yeah, no.
There we go.
Whenever I upload, I have to hit the button that says "not for kids."
Right, but I didn't know that like he was restricting her in that way.
Of course we are.
I didn't know if there was a different app.
You think we're giving her access to the full internet?
Logan
You think she's just getting the full internet? Give me a break. She watches the same shit. Fucking unbelievable.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
The next Walkabout mini golf course is about Elvis. Elvis was born in the state of A, Alabama, B, Mississippi, C, Kansas, D, Louisiana. Chris, what'd you put?
MISSISSIPPI.
And Tuna.
I also put Mississippi.
Okay. So this is Elvis.
Oh, is that him?
That's him. Best
great photo.
One of the most recognizable faces.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, he kind of looks like the guy in the previous. He looks like Tom
No.
Caswell.
Oh yeah, right.
He's white. He's got kind of
Alex
long hair.
Kind of looks like Elvis.
No, I look like a young
Joey Stalin.
Joey Styles.
Joey Styles. Okay. So you both got a point there. So Tuna is up 1 to Chris's 2. But like I said, we've got one last thing you guys need to do, okay?
Okay.
And it's going to allow you to get a lot of points.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you could just read this for me, please.
You're down as many Walkabout mini golf courses as you can in 60 seconds. Your time started when Tom switched over to this slide.
Right, so you have 47 seconds on the clock. As many Walkabout mini golf courses as you can in 60 seconds. Tuna grabbed a piece of paper, which isn't like, it would be great if you could just text me them.
Oh,
But it's
well,
okay.
too late.
It doesn't matter
Too late.
on a system. All right, you're at 20 seconds left. Five, four,
Whoa.
3, 2, 1. Pencils down.
Okay.
Pencils down. All right. Let's start with Tuna.
I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I will tell you them.
Yeah,
They
tell me
are
them.
Tourist Trap, Coyote Valley, Laser Lair, Ice Lair, Around the World, Labyrinth, Meow Wolf, 20,000 Leagues. I wrote Gotham, but I couldn't think of what it was called until after time was called.
Yeah.
And I also thought of Blossom for the Cherry Blossom one, but I couldn't think of the full name for that either. So I'm not counting.
So that was how many? Sorry,
8.
And Chris, how many did you get?
All 28. I typed mine.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. He. So he just copied and pasted.
You
all
can't
of them.
prove that.
There's no way you typed all that.
You can't prove that.
Oh,
I mean, you've got links for all of them. They've got images attached with them.
I
But
was just being thorough.
But he's not. I mean, I guess you didn't write anything. I
You didn't
did
write
say
it down.
right. I did.
No,
You did.
that's incorrect. I did delete some of the text, so I did edit some of the text in there.
That's not writing it down. Did you type out the names?
Yes.
No, copy
Yes.
pasted.
I sent them to you. Yes.
Paste.
No.
They're right there. Yes.
He copy pasted.
Yes. You can't prove it.
I mean, he's
fine.
right.
Look, if you want to give it to him on a challenge that don't matter, I didn't say I would leave if I lost this one. So
All right. Well, I guess Chris wins. There we go.
Yeah, fine.
Well done, Chris.
Yep.
It's all right. Alex is probably going to win the next one, or Tom will.
No, I'm telling you right now, if we're gonna see what's gonna
How many
happen
times do you think you beat it? The course.
Not that many either. So
No, I didn't.
Let's.
I didn't
find
find
out.
out.
How many times
times
did you play this game?
Total?
Yeah.
40 times, maybe.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
I'm curious. I'm curious what our time spent in the game is. Like when we did Fruit Ninja.
All right, can we just Tom, introduce the challenge and say what it is, because I need to know if I'm gonna hit the leave button in a couple minutes. Okay.
I told you I beat it
the
once.
challenge.
Doesn't matter. Chris is for some reason has come out with these challenges. All of a sudden, boom. It's like Savant is out here.
Yeah, the current score is 8-4-2.
Tom,
In the
would you like to
challenges.
introduce what this was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was, what was it? Marble Blast 4.
What do you mean?
or
What was
something?
it? You're the one who fucking came up with this goddamn fucking challenge.
It's called Marble.
You made me play this game. Fucking sucked. Okay, it was Manic
Marble 4.
Manic Marble 4.
This
okay?
game
And
did suck.
It had an accelerometer.
It wasn't as honestly. I enjoyed it more than my time trying to catch that fucking fish. I
rolling-
preferred it to that.
Yeah, that's fair. To be honest, that was pretty bad too.
You had to roll this fucking ball down this course.
Marble.
It's a ball.
Yeah, but it's specifically a
Come
marble.
on.
Oh,
You're not
fuck
calling it a
off.
ball. You're not calling it a ball. It's a marble. You're not
Fine.
calling a marble a
All
ball.
you had to do was tilt your phone forward.
Well,
You
that's
moved
not
the
true. You
goddamn-
could use a different control scheme.
I didn't use I tilted it.
Oh, I used tilt, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're fucked. All right. Well, yep.
Well, let's find out.
Well, no, they
Yep.
have the on touch pad.
And every so often you get a turbo, which you could use. And there weren't, I mean, as far as I'm aware, it was pretty straight fucking forward. However, it controlled like an asshole. And okay. Controlled like an asshole. And it was really annoying to play.
All right, here we go.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I didn't even know this game had music.
Wow, we're all
all
on point
right there,
now.
baby. We're all right there.
Oh,
Tom, you
whoops, sorry.
submitted a
Sorry,
ball?
I thought that was my final run. My bad.
You submitted of the wrong one.
No, this must
Yeah,
be
you
it.
probably restarted, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I
okay.
restarted. Yeah, sorry.
Alex is so far ahead. Oh my god, Alex crushed. Yeah, Alex
This
won.
music is unbelievable.
I can't. How did you even find this game? Wow, 56 seconds? That's amazing. I got 68 seconds. You beat me by 12 seconds, Tuna.
I definitely beat you, Tom. You can tell by the way you guys moving.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, 62 though,
me.
right in between.
Yeah.
I got last.
Okay. Well,
Alex, you can rest easy.
I definitely clipped it out, and I didn't. I must
sent
not have
the
saved it. I sent the
original.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, do you have a better time or?
No. That is the best time.
He's
Oh,
saying
okay.
he sent the wrong one.
Yeah, I clipped
Let me tell you.
but
Let
I
me tell you
didn't
what this game. Let me
clip
tell you
that.
what this game did to me.
Well,
Okay?
first, congratulations, Alex. You won this week.
Thank you.
You are now up to 5 points.
I put way too much time into this game, and it's that taskmaster element to this game.
Yeah.
Where we show up with times that we don't know what the other people did. So
Yeah.
you're kind of like, so like at one point I had like 61, right? And I was like, okay, this feels good. Like this is probably fine. But then I got it in my head that like, what if Chris just the night before puts in like a ton of hours into this and like really just goes for it? So like I did. I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do this. And I like to get it down to that was so like figuring out that I could tap the turbo, like the fact that I figured out a little bit in this game that you could tap the turbo to not waste it all so it could last longer. So you can accelerate for a bit and then accelerate once it's like okay.
You're so excited about this.
Well, I'm not necessarily excited.
He hasn't won since like May. He's so excited right now.
I'm more excited that like I'm more amazed. No, I'm annoyed that I put so many hours in it, and I'm more like excited about the fact that this challenge that we do, if you take it seriously, does create this kind of like doubt where you're like, I don't know.
I'm gonna reveal something.
Uh-oh.
I thought about absolutely dominating in this, and not only decided I didn't want to do that, because I don't know. I worried about your longevity in this challenge series, Alex. Just been taking it really. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but there was a moment earlier today. So I've tried several times. I'll open it. I'll start playing. I keep falling off, and then I just close it.
Yeah.
I probably had prior to today collectively put 15 minutes into the game, because I hated it every time I opened it. And then today I said, all right, I absolutely know there's a way I can beat this course. I'm just going to do it once. And so you can use the touch screen, which I'll be honest is actually harder than the accelerometer, but there's a third option that you can use keyboard. And so I connected a Bluetooth keyboard to my phone, and I did that run one time. It took me one attempt using a keyboard. You use the arrow keys and space bar is the boost. I did it in one try, no problem. And I sat there, Alex, when I sent that text, I was like, I could probably do this run 5 more times right now and get an absolutely absurd score. And I said, you know what? I just don't care. I hate this game. I will get no joy from winning this thing. But now
I gotta be
lost,
honest.
Now that I've
I
lost,
gotta be honest. 56 that I got
pretty good.
is
It's pretty good.
like I was thinking about, unless there's a shortcut that I don't know.
Yeah, it's a high
I
time.
don't know how you're gonna like. I don't know how much lower that can really go.
Yeah, it's a high time.
All right. So, do you want to do the challenge? It's your challenge.
So
to
next
pick.
week's challenge, well, 2 weeks from now, the challenge will be 10 target slingshot fastest time wins in Walkabout Minigolf.
10 to fastest to clear 10.
Yeah, the option is so in Walkabout Minigolf, they added to the driving range a slingshot, and one of the options is 10 targets. So you have to clear all 10 targets. Fastest time wins.
I like it.
Okay, so it's not about points.
No, it's to finish the 10 targets. Like once you clear a target, it's gone. So fastest time to win.
No, but I
10
just
targets. Yeah,
it's just clearing the targets as fast as possible.
Oh, it's the opposite of the driving range where you where you hit the golf ball, you get 10 hits, and that's highest score. This is break 10 all the This is break all the targets.
Right, but you can get
points. Don't matter. We're just going for time.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I'll give you your presentation at another time.
All right. There was a part of me that wondered, did I win because I'm using this keyboard? Because I had absolutely no idea what your scores were. You know?
That's the best part of it. I think that's the best part of this challenge thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Kind of like you beat any of those NES times yet that I sent you?
Nope. You know what the problem is with the NES times is that I stopped playing. Like it used to be like I would play, then you played, then I to have a couple days off, you got to get back in. I gotta build myself back up to those times.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that my daughter, she loves the Excite Bike part. So when she sees me doing it, she wants to play it. And I'm like,
yeah, you got to do it when they're asleep.
Yeah. Trying to get a low time.
Well, that's it for another episode of the Unranked podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here. Why don't you give us a ring? Give us a call, 805-738-8692. Drop a line. We've got Lads Weekend coming up. We've got a new challenge here for Walkabout Minigolf. We've got quite a bit on the horizon. So join us for another episode next week. But until then, I'll just ask you guys, as I always do, to stay unranked.
Suck it, Manic Marble 4.